Alright, so we have a really interesting Apocalypse of the Gods chapter here. Obviously, we are officially getting into the action, starting the fight of Morgan versus Neza. Before that though, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and drop a like on this video so you keep up to date with all the Record of Ragnarok content. Stay on this side of the algorithm. Shout out to the members as always, appreciate all the support every month. Now getting into this, after last month's chapter, obviously they hyped up Neza to the moon, being Wukong's rival, 17-day fight, no winner. Keep all that in mind as we read this. Okay, so round 1, match 4, start, says Yara. Immediately, as we saw at the end of last chapter, Morgan was going in for an attack. Now we saw that Neza had ranked her level 5 in terms of threat level. We don't have any gauge to what other ranks he has or what to compare that to, but I'm sure as the tournament progresses we may get some points of comparison. Regardless, she says pulverize and attacks him. He puts out his palm, looks like he's getting ready to shoot some kind of blast out of his palm, and there's this big explosion in the middle of the arena. But what we see when the dust settles is that he blocked with this makeshift shield that seems to have formed out of his hand. Now, Yara said it's just a normal punch, but its power was immense. Obviously, that huge explosion, it cracked the platform immediately. And Neza says, as I predicted, no finesse, no strategy, what a boorish attack from you. Crowd saying, what is that? His arm transformed into a shield. And now Neza says, and to pay back that lack of finesse, he opens his palm again, his other palm, and this time plans on shooting something out of it. He launches this massive blast into Morgan. It sends her sky high into the crowd. She crashes into it. People are running in terror. Yara says, the Morgan was sent flying all the way to the audience. She does get back up. She chuckles and says, looks like you got a real fun toy, don't you? Neza retorts, I recommend you use your own body to determine if this is a toy or not. Transforms his arm. This time it reminds me of like the Ripper from Black Ops 3, that specialist ability, but yeah, it's like this pronged arm blade. And Yara screams out, and right now his arm is changing again. He says the word organs. Fire tip spear omega. There's a Chinese name there. I don't know how to pronounce the Chinese version of the name. This attack is going straight for Morgan. She says cheeky and basically braces for the impact. Now the narrator, while this is happening, gives us some insight and says neither a bullet nor a laser. Before, one of Neza's organs, the mystical armor of heaven and earth, received the Morgan's punch, and within Neza's body, that power was transformed into pure destructive energy. So apparently he can absorb your power and shoot it back at you. And that's effectively what he's shooting back at Morgan right now. And from Neza's right arm, it once again released. However, and we cut to Morgan now, she was obviously bracing for impact, but she wasn't just bracing to just take it and get pushed back. She literally slammed it away, deflected it. Obviously, it looks like gauntlets are her weapon, but when she deflects this, you get this funny ass shot of the gods in the crowd, and they just know they're cooked. This attack gets slammed right into a section of the crowd, probably kills all of them. Now she slams it without giving a shit, and Ares is actually surprised. He didn't even know the next match started because it started so quickly. He's like, what, next match has started? And he just sees all these flames and people running and sprinting away. He ends up actually in the arena, in the crowd, and he sees just that portion that got wiped out, dude, and it is just a torrent of flames. Yara says, everyone in the audience, please use your own discretion to flee. And Ares says, damn you outer gods. As a god of war, my intuition's telling me, if we let you scum run amok as you please, Valhalla has no future. He screams that out. Nobody's paying attention to what he's saying though. Awesome shot of Morgan up in a section of the crowd, staring down at Neza back on the platform. She scoffs and says, told ya, a toy. Neza says, I see. Long range attacks are ineffective, in which case, organs, glittering demon, decapitation sword, heavenly flight wheels. So he takes flight, rushes up to Morgan's positions. They've left the platform. They're now up in the damn stands. This is dope. And he's going in for an attack. Yara's on her platform. She's like, what even is this? This fight between these two is going too far. It's destroying the audience. Everybody that decided to stay is now getting hit by rocks and rubble. They're running away. And now we cut back to Zeus and Hermes. And this is maybe the best part of the chapter for me based on what's said. Obviously, you know, we'll get into it. Zeus says, dear me, seems like our arena is just a hair too cramped for them. It appears so, says Hermes. Hermes says, although with this many dangerous outer gods all in one place, this apocalypse Sooner or later, this was bound to happen, Father. Zeus says, Hermes then smirks, and he says, shall we stop it? And Zeus says, why, I'd never. God versus God, after all. This is what it originally meant. If you want to watch, it might cost you your life, but that's exactly why it's worth it in the first place. Now, the thing that gets me hyped is Hermes saying, are we gonna step in and stop this? Now, obviously, we've hyped Hermes on this channel for a long time, saying, hey man, he saw Zeus's fist at surpass time. He is fast. He wanted to fight with Shiva, and now he's actually implying like, hey, we're gonna actually step to fight. That was dope. And I know Hermes is strong, and I hope one day we get to see what he's capable of. Zeus continues and says, those who are able to watch this death match all the way through to the end will be limited to just those few. The ones willing to stake their life on if they can defend themselves. Now, when we don't really get to see anybody of note. It's just Wukong's brothers, Ares, Echidna, the girl that lost to Morgan, and Ahura Mazda on the first page. But those guys are mostly fodder. Besides Ahura Mazda maybe, but the second page is pretty interesting because we see Enmedio and two new characters. We don't know who these guys are, but one of them has a coffin with a skeleton on it, so he's one of the guys. He's either the Shinigami, Leviathan, Muramasa. These two are probably two competitors on that side of the bracket, but we don't really get to see. We don't get to see the guy in the suit's face, but he looks like he's probably gonna be pretty cool. We then cut to see Ku. Ku says, God damn, she never changes. Putting on such a flashy fight, that gal is something else. Now, we kind of missed what ended up happening like in the air, but Morgan was going to try to punch him out of the sky. I think what happens here is she missed because yeah, she like punches up a huge chunk of rubble. Neza seems to dodge out of the way. His internal coding is saying total analysis of the target's attack patterns complete and begin counterattack. So he ends up behind Morgan. Looks like he blitzed her. She gets struck by all these different cuts. They go up and down her entire body. He looks at her and says, do you understand now? You and I, our rank is different. Cuts all over her face, cuts all over her body, exploding everywhere. You beast. And Yara says, holy shit, the situation has done a 180. Neza cuts and cuts and cuts and cuts. The Morgan, she can't do anything. And Neza's thinking to himself, just as I predicted, this time too, what a boorish fight, as I thought the only one who can satisfy my heart is Wukong alone. So he thinks this is an easy fight. But this time, when he goes for a cut, Morgan catches it in her mouth. She catches it in her mouth and says, got you. And right when she does that, she uses her left hand, grips on Neza's shoulder. His internal system is going crazy, saying alert, target's threat level has escalated rapidly. We don't find out the number, but she was at a 5. Now we don't know. She has this devious grin on her face, says, what was that you said at the start? No finesse, no strategy, just a punch, right? You were right. She cocks back her right arm and says, that was just a punch. Neza's looking up. It looks like the damn Willem Dafoe meme. He's like, impossible. This sensation is this fear. That's his internal monologue. Morgan continues, says, but you see, what I'm about to hit you with, this right here is a real punch. Neza looks shook, and we don't even see the connection. All we see is aftermath, and it starts with Wukong walking outside by a mountain, and he feels the ground shaking. He has no idea what this is, and he's like, Valhalla has earthquakes? Damn, too much weird stuff is going on these days. He's walking into the arena. He's walking into the arena right now. Okay, keep that in mind. We cut back. All the crowd is going nuts, but Hermes has a crazy smile on his face. Enma is sweating. Zeus is enthralled, and there's a massive crater in the stands where these two were at. Morgan might have kept on punching. I don't really even know. She says, this ain't nearly enough. I could have kept going for hours. Is this that rank thing you were talking about? And she literally has ripped off Neza's legs, his arms, and is holding him by his hair as he is white-eyed, bleeding everywhere. Like, legitimately, this man just got mauled. We didn't even get to see it. What even happened? And Yara's left her platform now. She's like floating in the sky. She's like, it's over, but there's no title card. There's no end of the match duration, blah, blah, blah. So I don't think this fight is over because they end chapters with that title card, and Wukong is walking into the arena right now. He's walking into the arena right now. They're not going to build this guy up to be complete fodder and get washed by Morgan. in one chapter. I'm staying firm on that. I know you guys like, I said I thought Neza was going to win. Shit. But I got to stay with it now. I think that he's got something more up his sleeve. I think we're going to get to see what her rank was. And I think that Wukong entered the arena is good news for him, as well as the fact that there's no title card. Don't forget, we had a lot of fake outs with the Ku and Ra fight as well. Let me know what you guys think, though. Are you surprised with how this transpired, and what do you think is going to happen? And don't forget, like, we haven't even got the explanation on what Morgan's ability is either, so we have a lot to go in this fight. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.